I'm Dr. John Melvin. I've been the Whippy TempoMaster, and during the next 30 minutes I'm going to try to show you some tips and drills that I've learned over the years with this golf club to help you get started with improving your golf swing. You know, the most common reaction we get from people is, well, heck, I can't hit my own clubs. How do you expect me to hit that thing? Or, you know, this reminds me of a certain part of my anatomy. You know, you get the same responses nearly every time you hand this to somebody, except when you hand it to a really good player. And the really good player will pick it up and say, hey, you know, that's pretty neat. Let me see how this thing hits. And you can't keep a good player from swinging this golf club. So if you're the person that picks up this club and it feels really strange to you, then you're the one that this club can really help. Now the Whippy TempoMaster shaft is extremely flexible. It was designed to be as flexible as it possibly could and still allow an individual to square the club head up to the golf ball. But the whole object of the golf club, of the TempoMaster, is to learn to swing it as hard and as fast as you can without placing any stress on the shaft. For the average amateur golfer, they never finish their backswing, and with a TempoMaster, you'll get this type of action. And so anytime you hit at the ball with a TempoMaster, the shaft is going to bend, the shaft is going to distort. And so you want to learn to swing this club, though, without placing any stress whatsoever on the shaft. You just swing it back and forth to get a feel of it. Try not to let it bend on your transition from your backswing to your follow through. Don't let it bend at the end of your follow through. Just back and forth. Swing it with your right hand. You can swing it with your left hand. You can swing it with both hands. Just back and forth. And as you keep it straight, swing it harder. Get the club head moving faster and faster. But place no stress whatsoever on the shaft. And this is what's the first thing you want to do to get used to the TempoMaster, is to feel what it's like to swing this club head without letting the shaft bend. The first drill that we're going to get started with the TempoMaster is what I call the feet together drill. And with this drill, you start out by placing your feet perfectly together with your shoes touching, no space in between them. Don't cheat. You want your feet perfectly together, and you want your knees slightly bent. And you want to stand in a very erect posture. You want your upper body to be totally relaxed. You want your arms just hanging. You do not want any tension. You do not want to reach out for the ball. You don't want to reach in. You want to just let your arms hang. And then once you're in that position, then you just start swinging the TempoMaster back and forth just to get the feel of the club head. Do not place any stress on the shaft. Do not let the shaft bend. Make sure you take a full turn and just swing back and forth and back and forth. Now once you're fairly comfortable in that move, then you want to start striking balls. But when you strike balls, to start with the TempoMaster, it's very important that you do not think about distance. With this drill, you only want the ball to fly 30 to 50 yards. Actually, if you can make it fly less, you might get started a lot quicker. So when you start out, the whole object is to make square contact with the ball, to get a nice ball fly. The ball fly where the ball flies straight, or it starts out to the right and draws back in on target line. The ball flight you do not want is a ball that starts out to the left and slices back to the right. So when you start, feet together, knees bent, upper body relaxed, and take a nice easy swing, and then through the ball and out about 50 yards. And then feet together, knees bent, smooth swing, ball out about 50 yards. Square contact with the ball. Try not to overpower it. Just strike the ball out there where it goes straight or with a little draw. You want it to go 30, 50 yards. You want to just be able to hit every shot where they go virtually in the same place. You're not thinking about distance. You're just thinking about swinging through the ball and making square contact. You're going to be totally relaxed. Just let the club head swing through the ball. Hit nice, easy, 30, 50-yard shots. Smooth, easy swing. And when you can hit every shot like that, then it's time to move on to the next drill. The next drill that we want to talk about is what I call the right hand off drill. And it's probably the most important drill that you'll learn to do, and it's one that you need to keep doing until you totally master it, because this is where you change your application of power to the golf ball from a right-sided hitting action to a left-sided controlled swinging action. Most all amateur golfers are right-side hitters, and with this golf club and with this drill and some of the other drills we have, we can turn you into a left-sided controlled swinger with strong right-sided power. Okay, to start this drill, we set up the same way as we did with the feet together drill. Our feet together, knees bent, standing upright, arms totally relaxed. And you want to swing the club back and forth, but right before we get to the ball, we want to take the right hand off. Now, one thing you do not want to do with this drill is let the left arm fly away from your chest in that manner. You want to do not let it fly off like that. You want to keep your left arm connected to your rib cage. You want to keep it connected to your rib cage. I guess the professional golfer who demonstrates this the very best is Corey Pavin. If you watch Corey Pavin, you'll see that he keeps his left arm totally glued to his rib cage throughout his whole swing. So when you're doing this drill, you want to make sure you stay connected. And once you start out same way we did with the feet together drill. Do not think distance. We only want to think square contact, and we want the ball to fly 30 to 50 yards. Feet together, your knees are bent, you're relaxed in your upper body, smooth takeaway, right hand off. Feet together, knees bent, smooth takeaway, right hand off. Feet together, knees bent, right hand off. Feet together, knees bent, right hand off. Hit that one too hard. Feet together, knees bent, right hand off. The next question you may have to ask me is, when do you get to start hitting golf balls further than 30, 50 yards? Well, that's what you do next. Once you can stand up here with your feet together, swinging back and forth easily, taking your right hand off, and can hit a ball 30 to 50 yards, then you want to take the same drill and you want to hit the ball 100 yards. Feet together, just a little bit bigger swing, hit the ball 100 yards. Then after you can hit a ball 100 yards, then hit it 150 yards. After you hit the ball 150 yards, then hit it 200 yards. And with this drill, when I'm swinging good, with good power, I can strike a ball that'll fly almost 230 yards by taking my right hand off. Feet together, knees bent, and just tear through it with your left side. This next drill is probably the most important drill that you can do next to the right hand off drill, but it's also the drill that I can very seldom ever get my students to do. And the reason they don't like to do it is because when they first start with it, they look awkward, they're self-conscious, and they're not going to strike the ball well. Well, the whole object of this drill is not necessarily to strike the ball well, but it's to learn how to turn your weight from one side to the other and stay in perfect balance so that you're turning right around your backbone. And by turning right around your backbone, you're going to return the club head to the ball the same way nearly every time. But unless you have some balance, you really can't do that. And the quickest way to get balance is to practice balance. So to start with this drill, you want to do it without hitting golf balls until you have reasonably good balance. But you want to pick up your left foot on your backswing and your right foot on your follow through so that you can stand poised and maybe take a step forward. You want to take your left foot up on your backswing, your right foot up on your follow through. And you want to practice this, several times a day until you can do it and stay in reasonably good balance. And once you can do this at home in reasonably good balance, and go to the driving range, find you a spot on the driving range where nobody's going to be watching you, so you want to be self-conscious, get you a big bucket of balls, and go down there and start hitting golf balls. And they're going to go right, they're going to go left, you're going to hit them up in the air, and you're going to hit them down on the ground, but it doesn't matter. What you want to do is, again, we're not thinking distance. You want to pick your left foot up, then your right foot up. And you only want to hit the ball out there about 30 yards. You notice that time I was a little off balance. I fell back. Your balance is going to change moment to moment. It's going to change day to day. But you have to practice your balance drills so that you can turn your weight from one side then to the other. Left foot up, right foot up. Left foot up, right foot up. And you do this drill just over and over and over again until you can strike nearly every ball going down there 50, 100, 150 yards. Eventually you'll be able to strike a golf ball that will fly further than you can strike it in any other manner. You should be able to hit this whippy driver with that drill. If you're average physical shape, conditioning, you should be able to hit anywhere from 240 to 290 yards with that drill. You'll hit the ball further with that drill than you will by keeping both feet on the ground. But once you can do all of them, sort of pretty good, change up your practice session. So you'll hit a few balls with your feet together with both hands. You'll hit a few balls with your feet together, taking your right hand off. You'll hit a few balls with your baseball drill. And then as you get real comfortable with these drills, then you can move on and take the baseball drill and combine it with the right hand off drill so that you're picking your left leg up, right hand off, and then your right leg up. And you can get really pretty good at these drills. And you'll be amazed at how well you can learn to strike the ball. So you pick your left leg up, right hand off, right leg up, step forward. Left leg up, right hand off, step forward. Left leg up, right hand off, step forward. And you just change your practice session up to where you hit a few balls that way, and then you come back and hit a few balls that way. And you'll be amazed at how, your practice will be more fun, and you'll accomplish a whole lot more by changing your drills up. You just don't get bored. But with these feet together and taking your right hand off, you'll eventually get to where you can strike a ball 200 to 240 yards that way. Probably one of the next to the last phases is learning to hit the Whippy TempoMaster with the full golf swing with your feet on the ground. And this is not necessarily that easy to do, because you can get real good by picking your feet up, but once you start putting your feet down, there's a tendency not to turn your weight over to the right side. So you got to concentrate a little bit, and when you get ready to keep both feet on the ground, you got to sort of remember what it's like to pick your feet up, and you want to do the same motion with your feet on the ground. So you set up in normal stance, you're relaxed in your upper body, your knees are slightly bent, and you just take a nice, easy swing and hit it. Relax, nice, easy swing. Your weight evenly distributed between your toes and your heels, and hit it. Relax, your weight evenly distributed between your toes and your heels. Take a nice full shoulder turn and hit it. As you're working on these drills, you're obviously going to want to transfer this Whippy TempoMaster swing to your regular clubs. And as soon as you start working with the TempoMaster doing the drills, you're going to notice immediate improvement in the way you strike your regular clubs. And over a period of time, you're going to get better and better and better and better, both with hitting the TempoMaster and your regular clubs. But when you first start trying to transfer your swing, as the way I did it, is I like to set up a series of golf balls, tee up maybe 8 or 10 golf balls in a line, and then I set my regular driver up so that I can easily get to it, and then I'll hit 2 balls with my TempoMaster, and I'll really try to concentrate on exactly how that swing felt, the pace, the tempo, on all the swing feels, and then I'll hit 2 balls with the TempoMaster, and then I'll reach over and get my regular driver, and I'll try to put exactly the same feel, the same swing on my regular driver as I did the TempoMaster. As a matter of fact, I try to imagine that my regular driver is a TempoMaster. I'll hit 1 ball with my regular driver, then I'll hit 2 with the TempoMaster, 1 with my regular driver, 2 with the TempoMaster, and just back and forth and back and forth. And over a period of time, you will have the same swing with your regular club as you do with your TempoMaster, and you'll be able to hit one just about as well as you will the other. So I set up a string of balls so I don't have to take time to re-tee a ball. I set my golf club, my regular club up so I can easily get to it without having to bend over or change anything. And then I hit my first 2 balls with the TempoMaster. And I try just to take a nice, easy, smooth swing. And I'm really trying to concentrate on the feel that I'm getting with my TempoMaster club. Then when I hit a good TempoMaster shot, then I'll come over, put my TempoMaster down, pick the regular club up, and I try to really concentrate and try to produce the same feel as I did with my TempoMaster. I only hit one club with that, one ball, no matter whether it goes good or whether it goes bad. Then I come back and I concentrate and hit ball with TempoMaster. Then I put it down, pick up a regular club, and I'll attempt to put the very same feel swing. Then back with the TempoMaster. Put it down. You want to make sure you don't hit TempoMaster. Then back the TempoMaster. I hit it better. Then back to your regular club. And after you just do that over and over and over again, eventually you'll have the same swing with your TempoMaster swing as you do your regular club. And you will strike a ball. When you're all done and you're getting there, you'll hit a ball about the same distance with TempoMaster as you will your regular club. Sometimes you'll hit TempoMaster further, sometimes you'll hit your regular club further. You can do all the drills with the irons just the same way as you do with the driver. Of course, with the wedge, you can't really do the baseball drill and what have you very effectively. But with a 5-iron, 7-iron, you can do all the drills just as we would with the driver. Now, why do you need an iron? Well, the irons, most people, when they play the irons, they tend to stop their left side through the ball and take over with their right side and hit it with the right hand. And with the TempoMaster, you just cannot get away with that. When you try to do that, your 5-iron will suddenly look like a weak 7-iron, and your 7-iron will look like a weak 9-iron. To hit the TempoMaster irons well, you have to have an extremely aggressive left side. And so by working with the irons, along with the driver, your left side will get stronger and stronger and more in control. The club I have here is a 7-iron, and you can do all the drills with a 7-iron that you do with the driver. You can do your feet together drill. You can do your feet together, right hand off drill. You can do the baseball drill. And then you can just hit the regular 7-iron shot. And when you're hitting these iron shots, you want to think about being extremely aggressive with this left side through the ball. And you want to stay and keep your arm connected to your chest cage all the way through. And if your shots are weak and high and to the right, the only thing you have to do to make them straighten out, increase the distance, and draw is to stay through the shot with this left side. You want to get the left side moving as fast or faster than the right side. You want to make it have the feeling that the left side is going so fast that the right side cannot catch up to it. And when you do that, you can hit these clubs just as well as you can a regular iron. But anytime you let your left side collapse in the hitting zone with the TempoMaster, you're going to get a weak, high, right-sided hit. Damn, that's a 200-yard 7-iron. Can you believe that? I can't believe that. Yes, it was. Have here a pitching wedge, which is really one of my most favorite clubs. It's also a favorite club of a lot of the major teaching professionals. And the wedge, really, one of the nice things about the wedge is that you're not, when you're working with it, you're not thinking distance, you're thinking more technique and accuracy. And with the wedge, really, in your living room, you can just learn a whole lot about the feel of the golf swing and the feel of a golf club head swinging through the ball. And you can work on that by just working on a 5 or 6 foot shot in your living room, where you would, if this was Runyon's ball, Snead's ball in the hole in the PGA Championship on number 17, you just take your wedge, pop it over the Snead's ball into the hole. And if you sit there and work on this shot in your living room until you can just make this shot probably 4 out of 5 times, you'll get to where you're leading through the shot with your left side. And so if you work on, hit that little shot, then you'll get to where, you can put the ball most anywhere you want to put it by leading through the shot with your left hand. And then as you learn to hit that shot, if you can hit the little short 5 or 6 foot shot where you're leading through, then you just go ahead and hit a 50 foot shot using the same technique. And then with the same technique, the same feel, with just a little bit bigger turn, you go ahead and hit the full wedge. Now look at this unedited clip. It will give you an idea how well you can learn to strike the ball with a Whippy TempoMaster. Look at this. All 5 of these balls were struck with a driver. Now the red flag is about 285 yards from the tee box. Watch it. Each of these balls travel between 290 and 305 yards. I sort of like that. Now there will come a time when you will be able to strike a ball with a Whippy TempoMaster just as well, if not better, than you can with a regular golf club. My observation is the biggest mistake most golfers make when working with the Whippy TempoMaster is they just don't hit enough golf balls with it. Some people will tell you that the secret to learning how to hit a golf ball is perseverance. The problem with that secret is that if you're using a stiff-shafted golf club, you're most likely practicing bad habits. When you persevere with the Whippy TempoMaster, you will be practicing a correct swing that you can feel. I advise most golfers to hit nothing but the Whippy TempoMaster until they can achieve the same level of comfort and consistency that you see here. After seeing these drives, and then the short game shots at the end of the tape, you will understand why many people actually play entire rounds of golf with full sets of Whippy TempoMasters. But the bottom line is, after you have built a correct, repeatable swing with the Whippy TempoMaster, swinging any club is enjoyable and rewarding. I gotta tell you, this makes building a golf game fun. That's all there is to